Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show. And the final score was the 35-10.
Yep. The Ravens covered.
I said 38-10. Hey,
Well, there you go, Moostradamus.
yeah. God. Judy gets the record of what? The ball hitting him in the chest.
I think receptions for a Brown during a year. No kidding. Yeah. not much of a record to break though. I think it was like 90.
He doesn't have hands.
Yeah.
There's David Talevsky joining us. Hi, David. How are you?
I'm good,
He's
Moo.
naked. I think he's naked. Yeah, he turned his camera off mercifully.
That's really an upsetting thought of, David Talevsky, being naked on the air.
He's getting ready to go out in the I-480 bridge in the snowstorm, so he might as well be naked when you do it.
Everybody is glad the game's over. And the announcers, oh my God. I mean, you would think that they just witnessed a historical performance, and
Jackson was like 40% passing.
He was 16 of 32, 15%.
He was terrible.
And nothing. I mean, he's nothing. He's
nothing.
Overrated. He's overrated, and he'll do it again. He'll break their hearts in the playoffs because he's not that good. And this team still doesn't have a meaningful offense, in my opinion. Get in my belly. I'm watching this fat guy who made the interception. He gives fat people, hope.
Oh, man.
All around.
And the thing, they've been advertising those fat injections the entire game, and there's that guy getting an interception. You don't need these injections. You just need to be at the right place at the right time.
God, a guy like this, could you imagine? He could wind up.
Role model.
Part of him could end up being part of J-Lo. Yeah, it is possible. Oh, God. What?
It's going to go into some booty that DG is going to lust after.
Yeah, I was hoping I'd get you while you were drinking and you just spray out of your nose.
But it came very close.
Almost got that done. So the season's over. And
yay! Woo-hoo!
It really is wonderful. I feel good about it. I don't know about you.
And you know what? It was those two fucking wins in the division that stopped the Browns from getting the number one pick.
There you have it. So we're definitely not getting the one pick.
You can't. No, particularly if the Patriots lose, man, we're not getting the one pick.
All right.
They're not getting a top 10 pick either because they're trading down.
Well, like we would do. Yes, we always do.
Oh, put your clothes on and shut up.
We're going to trade down and get Justin Gilbert, because we heard great things about him.
Oh, my God.
I didn't watch a single minute of Haslam's garbage.
Oh,
I just enjoyed my Saturday.
Hilarious.
Oh, well, hey, it's appreciated that you're here. We all have certain thresholds that we can't cross.
Yeah, there are pain thresholds for people. Yeah. I didn't inflict this on the rest of the family. I was watching it in my my little den here, so
I don't understand this. The only Browns.
I don't know. The only Browns.
I'm not making sense of that. Teddy-O. Teddy-O. Oh. Okay.
Susudio.
Well, he's not Ted Nugent.
That's true.
Grill Peppers. That's who we're going to draft. Peppers. No.
Snappy's NFL career after that terrible interception. Look, it doesn't matter who you play at quarterback. It's 2 or more interceptions a game.
Oh, he
unbelievable.
He actually had a game-scoring drive, though. Don't get down. And you know what song was going through my head while he was playing? Dancing Fool. Dancing Fool. I'm a dancing fool.
I don't know. I had to check the sound bar in my television because I swear every time they were talking about Lamar Jackson, and then I realized his dick was in their mouths. So that explains that.
Oh, DTR.
I think it's time to bring back the victory fridges.
Well, give that another year.
Yeah.
Nah, we'll be lucky to see 2 or 3 wins now for the next 2 years.
I think the guy that I'm hearing about, and this is interesting, as a possible bridge quarterback besides Kirk Cousins, is a guy named Boucher. Have you heard of him?
Oh, there's
Yeah,
a
I've heard
joke
of him.
coming, isn't there?
Bobby Boucher. What do you mean water boys as quarterbacks don't work? I'm willing
They
to
work as
try
linebackers.
anything. Oh my
Wow.
God. Hey, Christopher Milton, how are you?
Wow.
Yeah, I did want to pass along basically as a result.
Doug Grassoff, is he all right?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. He wrote to me. He's in the hospital, and he's been suffering from progressive, congestive heart failure.
Wow.
Yeah, and he had to go into the hospital because he's taken on so much water. They had to immediately get him.
Yeah. You get fluid on your lungs because you're not pumping your heart's not pumping the fluid properly. The lungs collect the fluid that's not being pumped out properly, and you basically drown to death. It's not nice.
And there's the man, the myth, the legend, John Grassoff. He goes by the name
still here.
YouTube user.
How about YouTube abuser? So
yeah, to be a YouTube user. All right.
Well, that's what most of the big name accounts do.
Yeah. No, we wish John all the best and to keep in touch with us, please, because that's we love our viewers, we really do. Yeah. And Scotty Ben is thrilled, just as long as it's not Deep Podesta and Andrew Berry who have anything to say about who it's going to be.
Dee Haslam's going to pick the pick because she's going to pick the prettiest boy she can find.
Well, I'm going to really upset Doggy Bones here.
Oh,
I bring Stefanski back.
He's coming back anyway.
But I would bring him back.
Bring him back.
I don't think that he's a bad coach.
I don't think so either.
As this team is, and as crippled as they are, and Mike Hall Jr. Got crushed. They didn't say what it was. And could you make anything out of that replay they showed?
It looked like his knee got actually kind of flipped. It's probably what's the big one? The MCL? Is that the one that's the one that holds like the kneecap
Achilles
together?
ACL.
The ACL is the one that always gets broke, but isn't the MCL the one that's actually thicker?
No, that's the medial collateral ligament.
That's the one. Yeah, I'm going to guess that one. But Ken's saying ACL. I'm even going to say MCL.
Yeah, usually it's the ACL that goes in a traumatic injury like car accident or Nick MCL. Chubb being hit for no reason by Minka Fitzpatrick. Yeah. That ends up with what they call the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, all of them get
all of them. The ACL, the MCL, and the PCL. And when you do that, man, wipe out City.
Praise the Lord. The praise the Lord ligament.
Stefanski, I mean, I don't think that this is all on him. I think they need to get new training people in. They've got to do something because the whole team has been decimated and we're never healthy enough. So it's hard to judge. I wish they would go back to a concept where they would get an offensive line and running backs, and then from there develop maybe a little bit more of a conservative offense like we had with Baker Mayfield, and we could at least it would be
competitive.
Well, and something that
Yes.
somebody would want to watch.
Yeah.
But this is nonsense. And I don't hold Ken Dorsey responsible for this because I think we're neither fish nor fowl.
He
I
was
think
trying his best. He was battling. He was battling up there in the booth.
too many chefs ruin the broth.
Yeah.
And I think that you cannot have a guy like Stefanski, who's a play action pass guy, very precise route running, timing patterns, and then bring in a guy who's a downfield passing guy with a quarterback like Deshaun Watson who doesn't do things in a timely, like pace fashion, but freelances a lot. So
Yeah.
the offensive linemen don't know which way he's going to move. And the whole thing, the whole Deshaun
terrible.
Watson thing was a failure, and we just got to move on from it. But I don't blame Stefanski for this. You've already seen that with Joe Flacco and even with Jameis Winston, for God's sakes, you can get points and yardage. It isn't that, but you got to have running backs. You've got to be able to possess the ball so that downfield passing game, which is a precision over the middle and very kind of conservative passing game, doesn't result in the tragic number of interceptions that we've had because we're trying to force a ball down the field and receivers are not on the same page as the quarterback, and we keep seeing it over and over again. And the quarterbacks that have been playing aren't good.
It's interesting you mentioned Winston. I read the ESPN article that was put out by, I think it was one of the reporters, but they were talking the reason Winston came here is because of the Stefanski offense. He didn't come in here for the Dorsey scheme. And when they first put him out there in practice, he was actually asking questions about it.
Yeah. The fact is that a lot of people didn't even know during the course of the season that Dorsey had taken over play calling and not Stefanski. I mean, there is a lack of communication and just a lack of gelling within the organization. And it's the sign of a badly owned business. The communication is really bad. So
I'll tell you what I firmly believe happened here. Stefanski didn't want to make changes to the staff. Haslam forced it. He forced him to change the offense. He forced him to bring Watson in there. Everything was him. Straight up.
Well, I mean, I don't think that any of it was something that Stefanski would have asked for. That's for damn sure.
No.
But
I think the biggest problem he had this year, was he just couldn't adjust to the fact that he wasn't running his offense anymore. And he just didn't know how to handle it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, did we ever challenge a call anymore? Like, that was one of the main things that Stefanski was meant to be freed up from play calling so that he could do more game management. Now, I don't think we ever threw a challenge flag for like the past 2 fucking months. I mean, that touchdown that never should have been a touchdown, I believe. I think Thrash actually had the ball going over and broke the plane, but because we're the Browns.
Anybody who would bring up Ted Pillman, so you must have been a viewer of the program years and years and years ago. One of my favorite video artists of all time, the inimitable Ted Pillman.
Mm.
If you don't know who it is, go to YouTube and look up, all of his songs, I guess you could call them. Everybody, it's like the sigh of relief. It's finally over.
School's over, man.
Yeah.
School's over for the year.
Yeah, we got summer vacation.
Yeah. You don't have to watch any more football.
And now the truth comes out. I haven't watched since week 2, and I'm glad I didn't. First season, I haven't watched. And you're going to see more and more people. You're going to have more and more people not paying for season tickets.
Particularly, I was inspired by that Rocket app. I am not paying for International Field Pass anymore. I'm done. I'm done.
The winless team was more watchable than this garbage.
But look,
it was more hilarious for sure.
No, Dorsey was offered a job, and he took the job.
Yep.
He couldn't possibly know that it hadn't been explained to the fucking team.
Poison chalice.
Nobody wins in the Jimmy Haslam scenario as the owner. No employee wins. I just want you to understand that. And everybody has their finger pointed at a different person. But the bottom line is, when you're not communicating in a business, people go the wrong way. And Ken Dorsey walked into a situation where I'm sure the owner of the team said, don't worry, you're going to be able to run your offense. And then it's like Stefanski, no, well, Kevin's going to keep calling the plays, though. And Dorsey's probably like, what the fuck? What did I come here for? But he's already got the job and he can't say anything. So he's been AVP'd. And so his hands are tied. So he sticks around. He finally gets to call the plays, but for whom? And it's a bunch of just horrific, non-talented or bad judgment quarterbacks. And how are you going to judge Ken Dorsey's offense? But, on the one hand, you can say, well, I mean, Jameis Winston threw for 400 yards with it, but he also would throw the ball away so many times for pick sixes that it negated any good thing. But I don't see how that makes Dorsey fireable. I mean, it's not his fault. He didn't put the roster together. God, I mean, it's just like the pointing to Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's crippled and he's not going to play. He's done. He's over with. He's in the past. Bad memory.
I wouldn't say that.
He ain't playing.
I think Haslam is dead set on trying to put him back out there again.
Yeah, well, I mean, fine. And nobody's going to watch. It doesn't matter what Jimmy Haslam does. I'm never going to pay a red cent. And it was funny. I saw an editorial up on, I guess it was on Cleveland.com, in which they are promoting, if you can believe this, for every $100 you spend, all right?
On Cleveland.com?
Wait, no.
Oh, wait for it.
Every $100 you spend in the greater Northeast Ohio area, there will be a tax assessed of 25 cents. And that tax will go specifically so that the sports franchises will be able to afford new stadiums when they need them. And it's like, honest to God.
That's a joke.
That's theft. That's actual theft, I think. These.
Why the hell would you do that with Progressive Field when they just remodeled it and Quicken Loans Arena?
Well, they said remodeling of older facilities, but it never comes out of the right pockets, and you end up just subsidizing bad judgment over and over again.
And not only does it come out of the right pockets, it also doesn't go into the right ones either.
That's right. I mean, City of Cleveland would probably change its tune completely toward Jimmy if they were getting more of our tax money. I mean, fuck all of them. Fuck all of them. Yeah, it's So who all is going to get axed? In my opinion, I would say the offensive line coach is toast. Andy Dickinson,
that might be about it.
It's going to get zapped.
Bubba's going too.
I'm sorry?
Bubba Ventrone.
Bubba, he's going
Ventrone.
Yeah, he's going too.
Yeah, I could see him getting wiped out. But other than that, I think there has to be more fireworks during the season next year when they stink, so that there will be more bad news that the networks can take advantage of.
And the other thing is any more sackings, and then that looks like bad on Haslam, because that makes it look like it's his fault. And we know it is, but he doesn't want people to really, really, really know that. So if you fire like Barry or you fire Stefanski, that's clearly pointing the finger upwards towards Haslam, and he's not going to do that.
I don't know if anybody knows or remembers the movie and the screenplay Requiem for a Heavyweight. It was Rod Serling, guy from the Twilight Zone. He wrote this screenplay, and it was at first a teleplay in 1950s television, and it was converted into a motion picture. And it's about a heavyweight who's way past his prime, who is just in the midst of losing every fight that he takes, and his manager, keeps talking him up and trying to get him more fights, but it turns out that the whole scheme is that the manager is betting against his fighter to make money. And when he's confronted by the fighter, the manager says, "I just thought it was time we could make a little money for the losing." And that line always stayed with me. And that's what this is. It's like Christopher is saying, damn, the Browns were plus 20 and they couldn't cover that. I mean, that's what fans are doing. They're just trying to make a little money from the losing. It's like, it is warped, man. It's warped. Bad is bad. It doesn't deserve to be supported. They shouldn't be on a field if they're not any better than that. And if it's going to cost people in Northeast Ohio more tax money than they're presently paying just to keep them here, we don't need them. It's that simple.
Wow.
And I get so tired of the gambling. Who cares what, I told you they were going to lose 38-10. They lost 35-10. What the hell difference does it make? If $3 or 3 points or 8 points or 7 points or whatever is, if you're walking around going, I won, you're fucking corky. You're fucking corky. You're special. Okay. Real special. The reason you're a fan is you want your team to win. Fuck you and your gambling issues, folks. That isn't even it's become an issue because that's just another way they make money, but fans want their team to win, not just to cover. I never heard fans when I was young going, we covered.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Myles Garrett went up after the game and said, well, I don't know what everybody's so upset about. We covered. I mean, I'm just from another generation. And let's see what else we have up here. I'm checking comments. What's your thoughts on Cam Scatabo? I don't even know what a Cam Scatabo is.
He's a running back from Arizona State. The white kid.
See, I don't even follow college football until I start looking into things for the draft. But especially with what's happened in college football.
God. That's got another 2 more weeks to go, man.
Yeah. And this is, I agree with this completely too. You shouldn't be, let's go to a hoity-toity resort to do our workouts before the season begins. I mean, that's just totally goofy. I would rather.
I heard somewhere that Haslam has a stake in the Greenbrier.
Probably.
I don't know.
Yeah, they'll probably go to Tennessee next year.
I think that they should make them work out in saunas so they get stronger and tougher. I think it should be harder, more difficult, not comfy.
Well, I blame the Cleveland Clinic, man. I mean, Jesus. It's probably their regimen that they're following.
And, this is what some people say keeps Stefanski and upgrade the play caller. It wasn't the play caller.
It wasn't any of them.
You tell me, if the players don't know where to line up, how can you blame the play caller? I mean, they're looking at each other like, am I in the right place? Am I in the right place? And they're going, no, you were over here. And they're doing all this shit at the line of scrimmage. You can't do that. So you can't assess anything when the players literally don't know which way they're going. And the reason they don't know which way they're going is that Jimmy Haslam brought in a whole new system just to try to justify the stupid move of getting Deshaun Watson. That's what the whole story is. And I'll even say it like Casey Kasem, who's dead. So I'll go like this. Hi. Me, Casey Kasem, and I've got a story to tell you. Well, I mean, if they're not lining up in the right place, do you really think that which play is called is going to make a goddamn bit of difference?
God. Well,
and here's the other problem. Chad O'Shea, for whatever reason. So,
yeah.
Go ahead, Moose.
One thing that was amazing was that Jack Conklin was still on the field today, and it was like game week 18. I mean, what the fuck with that? Everybody else gets killed, and he's actually playing.
He only gets injured the week before the season begins,
so that he can rest for like 2 months and then come back for the last game in January. That's meaningless.
And here's Hammer Time jumping into the fray.
No.
No, from my point,
that was less than fun.
The whole season has been less than fun, and 3-14, everyone should be fired. You sound like woo! And, yeah, I'm sure, and that's the Jimmy Haslam attitude, because anything that will take the onus off of himself, he will do. And that's what he's going to do. He'll fire who he wants to fire, and he'll never acknowledge that he's the problem.
Is Jimmy Haslam going to jump in the lake this year? Jimmy and D should jump in Lake Erie like Hugh Jackson did.
I hope they fucking drown in there.
I decided to do what all good Browns fans should do. Was at halftime, I decided to start drinking heavily. It's working. Right now, I feel a hell of a lot better.
Well, you can do this. See what I did. We'll see how it protest.
We'll see how it goes tomorrow. But right now, I feel really good. Oh God! When there's a guy that intercepts a pass that's fatter than me, there's a fucking problem.
I love that play. The ball just enveloped into his belly.
It just is like
the Stay Puft show the Stay Puft Marshmallow guy.
I have to reach for him.
Oh,
you have to get him and put a little Ravens jersey on his ass. Like,
how did Bailey Zappi not see it? I mean, that would be like a United moving band.
Because he's Bailey fucking Zappi. That's why. I mean, seriously. We got like a dozen. We got 4 guys that are signed up to play quarterback, and all 4 of them suck. So, come on. I mean,
Stefanski, Ken saying that his problem has no balls to defend his position, that collaboration is the absence of leadership, and I totally disagree with that.
He's got huge balls to continue to defend his bullshit.
Absolutely.
I think they're ginormous.
Yeah. But he also is smart enough to know that he ain't going to get another job in the NFL from the other 30 guys who own teams if he badmouths the one that he currently works for. That they'll just blacklist him forever. So he's in a walking a tightrope.
Yeah, he's in a no-win situation.
But collaboration is important, and you have to know when to put the hammer down. But when you're not listening to anybody, or you're listening to the wrong people, and Jimmy Haslam fits both of those, that's where the problem exists. But to win the players over and get them to play hard for you in meaningless games, that kind of collaboration you want. So again, it's a matter of philosophy. I just let me see if there's anything else that I can.
Who was the uniform guy that gave Bailey Zappi the number 2? That's got to be one of the most cursed uniform numbers.
Tim
in
Couch.
Browns. Tim Couch, Johnny Manziel.
Hey, you're a quarterback that sucks. Let's see. Oh, here's the number for you.
Amari Cooper had that for a while this year. Wow.
Well, he was at least a decent player until he decided to quit.
I want somebody to explain something to me here. So Jamari Thrash catches the ball.
Yep.
And how did they determine that the ball was stripped before he broke the plane of the end zone on that replay? How? I'm just curious. It wouldn't change the outcome of the game. Huh?
I didn't watch, so I don't know.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, it might have. I think.
I want to see that replay over and over and over again, because the second that ball crosses the plane, it is a touchdown.
Absolutely.
And to say that
unless you fumble it through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but right.
He didn't.
The ball, it was in his hands when he technically hit the plane, and the guy ripped it out right at just at that moment. But the ball, he was holding the ball, and it was over the goal line, right on top of the goal line, which was breaking the plane.
Well,
and they just said
the argument was that he hadn't made 3 steps, but he was actually dragging that 1 foot that they were querying about.
You got to get 2 feet down. You got to get 2 feet down. Where do they make this shit up?
They were trying to think like there was a football.
I believe it comes from a Leonard Skinner song.
Fucking 3 feet down. It's like, goddamn.
Give me 3 steps.
Fucking octopus football. What kind of shit is this?
Call the octopus.
They come up with this, it's just, you know what it reminds me of? It was like that stupid fumble. What did they refer to it as when Tom Brady?
Oh, yeah. The tuck
rule.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
the tuck rule.
Where the fuck did that come from? I mean, I've been watching football my whole fucking life. I never heard of such a thing. And this. I've been taught that you have to get 2 feet down in the field of play.
Exactly.
Jamari Thrash did that.
But they were banging on about 3 feet on the TV thing. Don't ask me why. I didn't say it myself.
They're getting it in their headset. Say 3 feet. Say 3 feet.
Say 3 feet.
Well, I'm trying to figure out 3 feet. I mean, most of us are born with 2. Maybe he's really well endowed, and he was able to put down a tripod type thing. Yeah, a kickstand kind of thing going on. I don't know.
So, I'll tell you, that stadium, Keith, was a mistake to begin with.
Terrible place.
It's a sterile, cold, badly constructed place. Everybody knew that going in, and it's fallen apart. Now it's going to require a massive investment, and it's still going to be a cold, sterile piece of shit place that's associated with a losing team. And look, I remember when the Cavaliers played at the Cleveland Arena in downtown Cleveland.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Oh, my God. I mean, the goddamn locker room smelled like used jock straps. I mean, it was
it smelled like a junior high school hockey locker room.
Yeah. Terrible.
Which is the worst smell in the world.
So Nick Maletti, it's like, I'm going to give you a dome in Richfield. And it was like, ooh. I smell a miracle at Richfield. It gave a boost to the organization. Yeah. And of course, unfortunately, it didn't really end up helping the greater Richfield area, because there's no greater Richfield area. It's
nothing happened there.
Well, if you drive about 10, 12 minutes away, you're in Peninsula.
Yeah, Peninsula.
I'm sorry. It doesn't help me. But that stadium is an albatross around the neck of fans who are trying to get to the games. It's an albatross around the owner's neck, and he's trying to wriggle out of it. So
that's a great song, by the way, by Fleetwood Mac, back when they were good.
What was the song?
Albatross.
Albatross, yeah.
Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac.
Yes, that's a great instrumental.
Lindsay, Albatross.
Great instrumental. So I'll tell you what.
It's a factory of sadness, is what it is.
I will wait till tomorrow to cut one. Okay.
What?
Saying Monday's cut day. So that's what
Woes.
I'll make sure
That's
that
every
I
day
do
for
that.
me.
Yeah.
That's what cows do. It's a methane world.
And
Mr.
we're all
Methane.
living in it.
Oh, I see Coach Wilson knows. Anthony Quinn, Jackie Gleason, excellent movie. And in the original, which was the screenplay, it was, let's see if I can go back in my mind. It was Jack Palance was the boxer. Mickey Rooney was the trainer. And I'm not sure who played the manager in the original teleplay, but it was the teleplay is even more heartbreaking than the movie. If you can find it, you can probably find it on YouTube. It's shorter, more concise, not Hollywoody, because it was done live on black and white television all those years ago.
Was that done on the Dumont Network?
No, this was Playhouse 90, which was the series.
Oh, that was a CBS show.
Yes, and it was CBS. That's correct. So,
yeah, I know my old school television. That's for damn sure.
And Big Lurker's in the house. It's good to see you. And Scotty Man says gambling has ruined sports. That's because you haven't made any money off it. If you made money off it, you'd love it. I love talking out of both sides of my mouth. So, that wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great if somebody would just, if you take all the greats in Northeast Ohio sports, the play-by-play guys, Jim Donovan,
Chandler, Jim Grainer,
that's right, all of them.
How can you leave Rick Manning out? Oh wait, never mind.
Oh yeah, I just left them out on purpose.
and they all would just sit there and go, I hate this fucking team.
You need Bruce Drennan doing that. Cleveland, I hate this fucking team.
I hate you. I wish you die. Oh God. Yeah, it's like, it's so bad in the gambling. All bets are off.
Yeah. Drennan knows about the Greenbrier, I think.
Who was the running back? Not Deontay Foreman, the other guy, number 36, I think.
Oh, Kabari, or like Kalahari Desert. He has a great name.
Yeah, he actually had more wiggle.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
So he had more wiggle than the Wiggles?
Yeah, and did you see Davis, number 89? He actually returned a kick and accelerated.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the trouble with Kabodi, Kibodi.
Some guy they found selling hot dogs in the stands.
I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Indian game Kabaddi, but so look that one up. It's like a really well-defined version of tag. So that's an Indian sport. I'm not making that up.
You just making up games now, Bronk. The other day I was on the Ocho, and I was watching. Actually, here is a real sport. There now is a real sport of wrestling inside of a car. It's actually it's this guy who's done like a half a dozen different things. They actually do like MMA wrestling inside of a car, and the idea is to throw the other guy out of the car or like put him to sleep. I'm like,
oh, that's awesome.
I
would fucking.
And they film it. They film it in a car that's on a stage, and they actually get in there. And former UFC champion Mark Coleman has done some of the color commentary on it. He's a friend, and it's and the same company does a thing where they're inside of two ginormous like tractor truck tires, and they're inside of there, and that the object is to throw the outside of it. The object's to throw the guy inside of the tire. I'm like, It's not even the Ocho worthy. It's like the Quinceañeras ESPN or something. I don't know what the hell it is.
That's
it's
where
brutal.
I've seen something similar. It was like these two guys were MMA fighting, but they were in a suspended train car that was moving over like a mountain or something.
It's like a Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah.
What? Let me. Was it a broken leg for Mike Hall? Did we ever find out what happened to him?
I don't know. I
never saw an answer. Just that they took it. They said it was an knee injury or leg injury.
They put an air cast on it, so.
Yeah, and
a broken leg actually is better than a knee injury. Really?
Oh yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I will agree with that.
Because freaking Pacheco from Kansas City broke his femur earlier this year, and his ass is out there playing now. I'm like,
Hammer is a jukebox hero. Yeah.
See, Big Lurker confirms with me that Kabaddi is a real game. You guys should check it out.
So is Yahtzee. What's your point?
No, I think the Browns should have a pro Kabaddi franchise. They might win.
Well, if there's money in it, you think Jimmy Haslam would have one already?
Yeah, there is money in it, definitely.
I've said this to myself a lot of times. You know, it's like there's this intelligent force that runs the universe, and I go, no,
none of it's on this program.
No, I'm going to say it's like whatever this, ruling body in the heavens is. There's no justice to any of this. It's kind of like when you call a play and the people line up in the wrong place, and you can see Ken Dorsey going, oh shit, after the interception because the guy's not where he's supposed to be, and the quarterback's on the wrong page and the receiver's on a different page, and it's like he has that oh shit look because he knows he's one day closer to getting fired. Well, I think when Jimmy Donovan passed away and it wasn't Jimmy Haslam, there was a voice from the heavens that said, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it was the BCOD.
Man.
The bronze cow of debate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kevin Stefanski, this is what we're getting from Big Lurker. We'll have an MRI for his knee injury. So it is a knee injury.
That sucks. Is he going to be all right for next week's game then?
Yeah, he's all ready for the next week.
Thank you. I'm here all week.
Well,
maybe he's playing Kabaddi.
Kabaddi.
Big Lurker, thank you for being the voice in the chat room.
Voice of reason.
The quotes from Stefanski is priceless. This stuff is, it's something that I don't even need to put a punchline to. But I appreciate the help, and promise me you'll be here next year, because I'll be here next year. All things, God willing. Oh, fuck.
Wait, there's going to be a next year?
I know.
Sad, isn't it?
Grasshopper, look at Grasshopper. Came into his hospital room, asked him if I need anything. He said, yeah, morphine.
Nice.
That's funny.
Hey, I'll have some too. Fuck it.
Well, I got to get out of here because I haven't eaten my dinner, and I want to sit down and relax. And
you got to look after your weight there, Moo. You can better eat your dinner, so that'll be.
No, it's a salad. It's a salad.
Are you sure? There's no pics.
What's in the salad?
I won't believe you.
Taco salad counts as salad, right?
No, this is an honest to God.
Potato salad is salad,
Potato
right?
salad salad.
This is lettuce and tomatoes and chicken breast, and what else did I pop in there? A couple pieces of pepperoni just to spice it up.
I was going to say this clearly sounds like Rox is to blame for this thing, because there's too many healthy items in this thing. You need to stop this right now.
Is she trying to keep you alive for some nefarious reason?
I actually I actually do have a pretty good salad recommendation. What you do, dice up cucumbers, tomatoes, some green pepper, some feta cheese, and a little bit of onion in there, and eat it. That's a good salad.
I've got blue cheese in mine, but I have one that it's a good one. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called a tosmai.
Tosmai.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, if you have blue cheese in yours, you should probably see a doctor.
Oh God!
Especially if it lasts more than 4 hours.
It'll make the Monday cut that much more fragrant. All right, everybody. Hey, it's been a great season, but look, just because I'm not going to be around on Sundays and doing that routine, still Monday and Friday, Moohead Radio, and who knows, as the Cavaliers keep going further in their run, there are going to be maybe some surprise broadcasts on that too, because they're too good to ignore.
They're 30-4.
Regardless if the national networks ignore them.
That makes me want to do it more. But thanks everybody for tuning in, and I will be back again Monday for the next installment of Moohead Radio. Until then, thanks to Hammer Time and David, and to Moose and Tony, and all of you out there. Hasta la vista, Pasture Heads. Good night.